Alright, first things first, for those of you who don't care about my deck building philosophy and just want to see the list and copy it and use it, here it is. We've got 4 of the BT14 Togemon, should probably add in an extra egg, that's on me, whatever. 4 of the BT14 Patamon, 4 of the EX6 Luxmon, 2 Cutemons, which your opponent can't reduce Digivolution costs, 3 Pillowmon, players can't play Digimon by effects. We've got 4 BT15 Gatomon, 4 of the Secret Angemon, and 2 of the BT8 Angemon. Level 5s, we've got 10 of them, which is a bit unusual. We've got 4 Angel Woman Aces, 3 Magna Angel Aces, and then 3 BT16 Magna Angemons. Level 6s, we've got 4 Dominimon, 4 Shadow Seraphi Ace. Then, options, 4 Physical Training, 2 Heaven's Judgment, and finally we've got the Tamers, 2 BT8 Kari, 1 BT1 TK. And that's it! Go and have fun! Now, for those of you who are here for my thoughts, my deck building philosophy, this is my 5th place Angels deck. It's not really 3 great Angels, it's more just Angels, as you can see by the level 6s here. But yeah, 5th place at the Oceania November Regionals. Quick shout out to Josh for letting me borrow some of these cards. One of these Angel Womans and 2 of these Gardos. That's so hard to find, so thank you very much. So when I was building this deck, I was testing, 3 great Angels a lot. And the 3 great Angels, Seraphi Ace, Ophani Ace, and Cherubi Ace, they're all really cool. They all do a lot of neat stuff. But this stuff is neat. It's not necessarily good. It's not bad, but when it comes to building a deck, preparing for a tournament, you don't want to just be focusing on cool little fun interactions. You want to be looking at what decks are my opponents playing and what beats that. I noticed that a lot, and I mean a lot of the meta decks just can't beat evolving into a Dominimon, Dominimon searching security, and playing out any of my level 5s. Because Dominimon gives protection to all of my Angels. And if I've got a level 5 on the field, well, I'm threatening the Shadow Seraphi Ace in hand. If my opponent attacks, they lose their entire stack, and they can't remove that level 5 from the board without a lot of trouble because of Dominimon. Shadow Seraphi is a blocker, but the BT16 Magna Angemon, its inherited effect, also gives blocker to all of your Angels. So if you evolve your Dominimon on top of the Magna Angemon, then everything has blocker regardless. Not only that, but Dominimon, usually it's taking a card out of your security, which really sucks. But Magna Angemon and Angel Woman Ace both replace that card in your security. Angel Woman only does it if your security is 3 or less when you play her out, but because she leaves security at the same time she comes into play, she sees herself leaving security, so you get to use her second effect to recover. So the main idea of the deck is to go Domini plus a level 5. But then, what next? Well, my idea is to take total control of the board. Get myself into a position where whatever I attack at security, it doesn't matter whether it lives or dies. And I don't have to attack security particularly fast. I can kind of take my time. I can leave my Domini and my Aces on board, and I can just swing at security with, rookies or with Gatomon, which is great. Gatomon also has the inherited effect to give barrier to any Digimon evolved on top of it, which means that I could also attack with my Aces in the right scenarios, or even with Dominimon as well. Even if I use Dominimon's effect and don't find a level 5 in security, I can also play a level 4 out of security, not Gardevoir, because it's not an angel. But if I play the secret Angemon, then if it's deleted, it just goes back in security, that's fine. But also, I have 7 level 5 aces, so I'm threatening them rather than Shadow Seraphi. Or if my opponent attacks twice in a row, I can blast a level 5, one of these two, and then blast Shadow Seraphi on top of that. The Tamers probably look a little bit weird. I could have elected to play a BT14 TK rather than the BT1 TK here, but I decided that memory setter Tamers were more valuable than the non-memory setter TK. There's only 3 Tamers in the deck, the list is pretty tight, so I decided to just have all of them be memory setters rather than, you know, mixing and matching and potentially finding a tamer that's not a memory setter and then being in a kind of rough position. The BT8 Angemon might look a little bit strange. Other players might elect to play, say, a Pitomon from the new set, or some other Angemon, the EX6 one perhaps, but I went for this one. It says, when this Digimon would Digivolve if you have 3 or fewer security, recover 1. And this effect, it didn't come up heaps, but it came up enough that I felt good about having this as my 3rd level 4. 13 rookies might look a little bit suspect, I can understand that, but I wanted the Patamons, obviously, they are just phenomenal cards. The Luxmon is a searcher, you know, it's nothing special, it's a searcher, sometimes it draws you cards, that's fine. But I went for 5 Floodgate rookies because I noticed that a lot of decks are hurt by Cutemon. They're not necessarily hurt by it hugely, but being able to turn off trainings and being able to turn off the effects of hybrid Digimon like Burning Greymon or Kendo Garuru or Duskmon that let you evolve with the cost reduced by 1 actually did come up a few times. Not only that, but I played against Galaxy Mirage in one round and this card put in a lot of work. Pillowmon, I had 3 of them here for playing against Lord Knight, or, you know, Anubis, Levia, that kind of purple slop deck. I didn't end up playing against it, but I didn't regret playing the Pillowmons either. Because if I had played against it and I didn't have the Pillowmons, I could have been in a lot of trouble. That being said, Pillowmon does have a bit of anti-synergy with Dominimon, and that also came up a few times. It stops me from playing an angel from my security. So that's just something you'll have to be aware of when playing the deck yourself as well. In terms of things I'd change moving forward, the first thing is a 5th egg. There were a few games where I ran out of eggs. I didn't need the 5th egg, but if those games had gone on a turn longer than they did, I would have needed that 5th egg. There are a lot of good yellow eggs. You know, options are like Hupimon or Nyaromon even. There's a lot of stuff. Kyaromon for jamming, right? So yeah, some kind of 5th egg. Secondly, I would put some Cherubi Aces in the deck. Now, I said that the 3 Great Angels were neat, but not good. But Cherubi Ace is the best of the 3 of them. And the most important thing is that it has Alliance. And with that Alliance, I would be able to have bigger DP than Mother D Reapers with Blocker or Magnamon X antibodies. And so Cherubis would really, really help out in those matchups. And if you're looking at this deck and wanting to copy it, I would say definitely chuck some Cherubi Aces in there. I would say probably swap out the Heaven's Judgments. They were fine, but this deck, since it can put lots of bodies on the board, Cherubi Ace's DP minus effect can get about as big as a Heaven's Judgment, you know, with the right board. And it's also a Digimon that plays out another Digimon, and also it has Alliance. So that's a lot more stuff than what Heaven's Judgment can do. I would play 2 Cherubi Aces rather than these 2 Heavens. In terms of the Floodgate rookies here, I might swap the ratios on them, so go 3 Cupemon, 2 Pillow, rather than 2 Cupemon, 3 Pillow. But that just depends on your local meta, what you think you'll be playing against. I found Cupemon more useful, but that's because I didn't play against any Lord Knights. And on top of that, Pillowmon would become even more of a non-bow if you put Cherubi Aces into the deck. Because if you have Pillowmon on the field, well, you can't play another Digimon off of Cherubi Aces effect. Alright, well, that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed this deck profile / ramble that I had here. I'm very proud of my finish, 5th place. I'm surprised that no one else really played Angels. I didn't see anyone at the top tables or the lower tables for that matter. And it's a really good deck. I would actually look. I don't want to toot my own horn too much here, but I would say it was probably one of the best decks in the room, specifically for this meta. Though that being said, I don't see how. That being said, I don't see many cards in EX8 that can particularly threaten this deck. It's basically just Medieval Gallantmon. So I might be taking this to Nats. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed, you know, give it a like and subscribe and all that. I do want to keep creating more content for Digimon, whether it is more deck profiles or even just commentary or gameplay of games from locals. So if you're into all of that, stay tuned. There will hopefully be more coming up soon. Alright, take care everyone. See ya.